Beach Shores. This is the monthly code enforcement, thank you, Sherry, code enforcement hearing. The way that the hearing is conducted is I will call the cases. It is the the city's burden of proof. They get to go first. They can present testimony, evidence, whatever it is they need to present their case. Then it is your turn to cross-examine whoever is here on behalf of the city. It is not your turn to tell me your side of the story. When the city has exhausted its case against you, then it is your turn. You can call witnesses, you can testify on your own behalf, you can show me photographs, blueprints, pieces of buildings, whatever it is that you need to prove your case, and then I will make a decision. At any time, you do not understand what is going on, but only in your case. Please raise your hand. I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you your options, okay? If you don't understand what's going on in somebody else's case, well, stay till the end and I'll explain it, okay? All right, so the first order of business is to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Does anybody have good cause as to why the minutes should not be approved? Okay, hearing nothing, the minutes are approved. I'm going to do something a little unusual based upon the paperwork that was on my desk this morning. I'm going to call a case out of order. So I'm going to start with the B case, which is Oceanside Inn Condominium Association, case number PCDEF 2022-55. Is there anybody representing that property? No. Okay, that's unusual. I have a written motion for continuance requesting that I continue the hearing to the next month. State or city, do you have any objection to me granting this? We're asking for 20 days. Really, it's probably 30 between now and the next meeting.
Our recommendation is that it be continued to that date certain of March 20th.
Okay. I'm going to continue the hearing. I took it out of turn because I had imagined that the property owner was paying an attorney an hourly rate, and I wanted to try to cut down their costs, but the B case is continued in any case. All right, we'll go back to A. That would be Deborah Ann Nifong for the Deborah Ann Nifong Life Estate, which is case number CDEF 2023-07. Is there anyone here for that case? Okay. Sir, your name is?
Jonathan Miller.
Okay.
I'm representing Deborah Nifong. She's also my mother.
Okay. I saw your name on the deed. Your mom has a life estate.
Yes.
You and I think it's your sister have the remainder? Okay. Would you mind having a seat in the front, please? All right. Ms. Herstein, would you please raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
So when are you done with this and you're going into city planning, now that you're under oath?
Wow. I am already doing many tasks involved with city planning, certainly not the lion's share of them, and certainly not the most difficult and complicated matters, but right now I am trying to assist with both, and it's a lot. So we do have a new code enforcement officer starting March 5th, so we're very excited about that. His name is Brian, and I can't wait to introduce you.
Excellent. Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you. I would first like to ask that each of the documents included in this PowerPoint file, whether presented during the hearing or not by the city for this case, be accepted as evidence, most of which have been provided to the special magistrate and all of which have been provided to the respondent and or rep.
Okay, Mr. Miller, did you receive a packet from the city?
Yes, sir.
And have you had a chance to review it?
Yes.
Do you have a legal reason why that should not be admitted into evidence?
No.
All right, then I will accept the information in the code enforcement magistrate's packet dealing with this case into evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
This Your Honor, is a first compliance hearing for property damage from late 2022 Hurricane Ian and Nicole. After multiple conversations with the property owner and her son, Mr. Miller, who's present today, we achieved good service on a notice of violation in July of 2023 and held an initial hearing in June of 2024. They were having some issues and insurance company issues, and we let them try to work that out as they could.
Right, I remember this one.
The property was found in violation at that initial hearing, and the owner was given 7 months or until January 20th, 2025 to bring the property into compliance, or fines of $250 per day would begin. I re-inspected January 24th and found that a construction crew had begun work under 4 permits that were issued by our building department. They were issued the first 2 weeks of December. Unfortunately, the property has remained in violation and was and is still non-compliant. An affidavit of non-compliance was issued and a notice of first compliance hearing for today's meeting was generated. Good service was achieved. I would also like to show pictures of the re-inspection results as I go through the violation list and then offer a recommendation. Before I do that, I would also like to share with you that I spoke with Mr. Miller yesterday. He called yesterday. He expressed concerns about the daily fines and whether he should demo the building to stop the violations. We discussed the second compliance hearing process and the worksheet pieces of information that are recommended to be submitted to his honor, but he may want to discuss that, and that's
Okay, that's, all right.
So I would like to start with the pictures, and then I'll get into the recommendations. The 4 permits that I told you were recently obtained to rectify the building, including a roof permit. Violation C is where the violation started on the findings of fact. Violations A and B had been taken care of before that initial hearing. So violation C is where we start. The upper 2 pictures were from previous inspections, a 23 and a 24 picture. Violation C is building is not free of conditions which might admit dampness to the interior portions of the home. That follow-up inspection, the 2 pictures at the bottom are from January 24th of this year. Violation D, open storage of wood and fence gate sections. There were some fence gate sections and other items that have been stored outside, 23 and 24. At this point, there still remains what looks like a fence gate section. It is also a construction site. And so they are, in terms of a construction site, there may be construction materials that are being used and equipment that's being used. By the time they have their approved final inspection, it's also expected, and that would stop some of the fines on the roof and any enclosure to the building.
Is this building occupied?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Not legally, as I understand it. I mean, I can't say whether somebody's squatting in it, but I don't think so.
Okay, but the person with the life estate isn't living in it?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Violation E, structure has become unsafe and unsanitary for human occupancy as evidenced by the roof being destroyed and are missing in places. You can see the upper 2 pictures from previous inspections and the lower picture from the January 24th, 2025 inspection. That whole left section of the property, again, has no roof on it at that point. And the roof, as it starts to cover other parts of the property more to the south, also appears to be in some disrepair. So we're hoping that they're working on all of that moving forward. Violation F, the paint is discolored around the building. Again, you can't paint walls that aren't currently there. So that's going to have to be a last step dependent upon them moving forward with these other issues. Violation G, the roof is not structurally sound. We've already looked at some of these pictures. Violation H, the roofing system is not being maintained to prevent damage to the structure. Again, similar, some different pictures. You can see at the upper left picture what happened during the 2022 hurricanes. It picked up a good portion of the roof and just flipped it over the home. Violation I, landscaping is not being kept in a neat and well-maintained condition. And this was part of the question and topic of conversation yesterday, in that a construction site doesn't have the same requirements. However, knowing that you are facing code violations that you're being fined for, certainly taking steps as you can during the construction would be something that could assist them in taking care of that piece so they're all compliant around the same time. Violation J, tree is dead in the middle of the west portion of the yard. This was interesting because when I went back to look in January, that picture kind of in the middle on the right, there was a
Dumpster over the
yeah,
stump.
a little dumpster, and so
I read
couldn't
that,
really
yeah.
tell. But when I went back for the posting on February 10th, that had definitely been removed. So the stump is gone. It was originally a dead tree. They cut the tree down but left the stump, and they needed to pull the stump too. I can confirm that that has been removed.
Is the lower left a picture of the stump?
Yes.
Okay. Thought it was a turtle, quite honestly. All right.
And that brings us to the recommendation. We recommend, the city recommends or requests rather, in order number 11, that we find that the property remained in violation beyond